All right, today is June 3, 2021. This is the meeting of the Kubernetes Storage Special Interest Group. As a reminder, this meeting is public, recorded, and posted on YouTube. On the agenda today, we're going to go over the 122 planning spreadsheet to see what the status of the various items are that the SIG is committed to. Dates to keep in mind, the next upcoming one is Code Freeze on July 8th. We have a little more than a month left, so plenty of time. In addition to that, 122 feature blog opt-in. If you have a feature that you're working on that you're interested in writing a blog for, please make sure to reach out to one of the SIG leads and we can help you get registered for that. And if you have any PRs that need attention, designs that need reviewed, or anything else that you'd like to discuss, feel free to add to the agenda doc and we can go over it after the planning spreadsheet. This agenda doc link is in your invitation calendar invite. So with that, we can go ahead and switch over to the planning spreadsheet and start getting status updates. I'm going to create a new column here for today. Okay. First item is delegate FS group to CSI driver instead of kubelet. A month. I think Hamant's on the line, but I cannot hear him.
Can you hear me now? Sorry.
Oh, yes, there we go.
Okay, this is still, we are kind of blocked on the CSI spec change. But it has, James reviewed it, so it is making some progress, I think, but yeah.
Cool. So I think that should be okay to merge soon. The plan for the CSI spec is to cut a release on Monday next week. And so I'll take a look at getting that merged this week.
Okay.
Next item is CSI online offline resizing, update cap and fix issues, copy allow volume expansion from SC to PV.
So we dropped that copy allow volume expansion item from this quarter, and I have reached out to API reviewers like Tim and Jordan about like how to deprecate if you're going to deprecate the parameter from storage class, because it would be a change in API change sort of thing. So we need guidance from them. Then yeah, but that's the only outstanding item left actually as far as the issues are concerned. But when we talked about this in the CSI implementation meeting, we do not think that this should be like copying the allow volume expansion should be a blocker for resizing as such going to GA, like not in this release but next release if you want to. Yeah.
And was there general consensus on that, or is that up for debate?
I thought that there was general consensus for that. Yeah.
Okay.
At least. But I will schedule. We'll obviously have like 1 or 2 more calls when we plan resizing for GA.
Got it.
It's pretty close. Yeah.
Cool. Thanks, Aman. Next item is recovering from resize failures.
So kept mismatched. I'm working on implementation. I have to split the stories, split the card so that I can work parallelly. I haven't done that, but I do have a POC actually for it.
Okay. Next up, we are going to jump to CSI entry read-only handling. I don't see Cheng on the line. And
no updates in this area.
Okay. Are we planning to do this for this cycle, or?
So I think Humble replied to the PR saying that he would do a rebase. I'm not sure if he has time to move this forward. I can sync up with them offline.
Okay. Cool. Thanks, Cheng. All right, next item is issues related to assuming mount points. Volumes are mount points. Jing, are you on the line?
Yes. So yeah, there's no further update, but there's some because this issue related to a race we discovered, but not yet be able to have a good solution. So this related to the pod and volume management risk condition. But there's some new PRs by Clinton, so which has a big change related to a pod status management update, which might help on this risk. So we are trying to review that change and see how it can maybe address some of the issues here.
Got it. Okay. Cool. Thank you for the update, Jing.
Sure.
And next item is storage capacity tracking for pod scheduling. I was staying in beta for 122, doing bug fixes. Any new updates here? Okay, we're gonna mark that one as no update. PVC inline ephemeral volumes, working with the CSI driver. Any updates on that?
I know Patrick has one bug fix out for some scheduling parts. I think that's all I've seen in this area.
Okay. Thank you for the update, Michelle. Next item is spreading over failure domains. Xing?
Yeah, so that's still depending on the next one.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the next one is volume group API.
Yeah, so I need to update the cap, and also I have some new thoughts. I think
Okay.
you want to incorporate in the cap, update that, and then schedule a meeting to discuss.
Okay. Next up is CSI out of tree, moving iSCSI driver, image building, testing, CI/CD documentation. Christian, do you have any updates on this?
Yes, Humble's actually been doing a tremendous amount of work on this pretty aggressively this week, actually. He's found some issues with mounting, which have not been resolved, and this morning he's found issues with unmounting in a detached disk code. So he is working on that, and once his PR is merged, we should be able to cut a release, assuming no other issues pop up.
Got it. Okay. Then we have PVC volume snapshot and PVC, namespace transfer. I think we were looking for a new owner, and Mustafa was interested in working on that.
Yes, actually.
Oh, awesome. You're here.
Yeah, actually, yesterday I had a call with Christian, and he showed me already the stuff. So yeah, so everything he did before. And I think actually we should go with more generic implementation. But yeah, I want to see how to proceed.
So if there's a few different proposals, I think the best approach may be to try and find some time with just kind of the wider SIG and do a 30-minute or 1-hour meeting and talk through the different ideas and see if we can come to a consensus on which approach is the best. If you need help scheduling something, reach out to me or Shing or Michelle or Jan, and we can help you get that scheduled.
Okay, sounds great.
Cool. Thank you for helping with this.
Thanks a lot.
All right, next item is CSI volume health. Shing?
Yeah, so we actually talked about this in yesterday's CSI meeting. So I think I will write down some more details on various different directions, because we had a meeting that last time, right? So we talked about looking at how to use this to enhance scheduling, but I thought about that. I don't see how this can help with scheduling actually. So I think I just need to, and then we also got some new requests making this appear as a metrics. Yeah, so there are various requests and various directions. So I have a doc that have some of this, but I just want to write down more details. Then we can have a meeting to talk about it.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you, Shing. Next item is volume populator data source. Ben?
This one is the development of the entry feature is done, and I'm adding automated tests, and it will be ready for reviewers probably early next week, I want to say. And I'm not sure if this is the kind of feature where we'd want to do a blog thing, given that it was alpha and it will still be alpha. I mean, we're changing the design.
Yeah, I think that's a really good one to do a blog post on, to kind of explain, you know, where the feature is going, why it's changing.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, that was my thinking too. So sign me up.
Cool. All right.
I'll blog about this.
Sounds good. Shane, could you help add Ben to the blog spreadsheet?
Yeah, of course.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you both. All right. Next step is Cozy. Sid, Serini, Jeff, anyone on the line? If not, Ben, would you be able to give an update?
Yeah, I can do an update here. So I forget what the last update was.
So the last update we have kept not merged, but we can target alpha and 122 because it's out of tree. It'll continue to get API review.
Okay. Yeah, so we're focusing on, instead of putting all of our effort into KEP approval, we're trying to really design what we're calling the downward facing API from this object, so that, you know, what workloads will consume out of this. We have been spending a lot of time arguing about sort of esoteric API issues that were not so core to the feature, and now that we've sort of have this new viewpoint that we can just deliver an alpha out of tree and get the KEP approved later, we're really focused on the core issues of how are people going to consume this thing, what is the downward API going to look like, and then how does that affect things like bucket access, and some of the neglected parts of the original design we're revisiting.
Got it. All right, thank you, Ben, for that update. And for folks who are interested in any of those discussions, immediately after this meeting will be the Cozy meeting, so feel free to attend that. Next item is change block tracking. Looks like we haven't had an update here for a while. Shane?
Yeah, I think still right now we haven't done any update on the API design part, I think we are right now working on some documentation
Okay.
Related to change log.
All right, thank you, Shing. Next item is new RWO access modes. Chris has been working on this. Last status was updated. Chris, are you on the line by any chance?
Yeah, still in development, still working on it. The CSI spec changes, I think, are mergeable. And then all of the CSI sidecars are, well, they're going to be blocked until the Kubernetes release is cut, but I think those are all in a pretty good state right now. So.
Cool, thank you, Chris. Next item is the CSI Proxy for Windows. Looks like we're doing new API changes required for driver changes and moving it to GA. And I think Mauricio, Jing, Deep are working on this. Any of those folks on the line for an update?
So I can give an update. So Mauricio did most of the PR to update all the API, new API in like 4 groups. I think 2 of them merged, and the rest of them should be able to merge like very soon, by this week. And then the plan would be cut RC release early next week. So we'll ask the driver owners to test it out, and then we can have a final like a V1 API upgrade to V1 and have this release.
Awesome, good progress. Thank you, Jing.
Sure.
Okay, next item is CSI migration. So CSI migration has the core logic and then logic for specific in-tree drivers. So for the core logic, Jiawei or Matt, do either of you have an update here? Last status was bug on VAGC.
Yes, so that bug has already been fixed. Cherry picking is in progress. I think in general, there's no big issues. There are a couple of small issues, like upgrade the annotation to GA version or something like that. I need some time to get some time to fix that. Other than that, I think it's all good.
Cool. Good stuff, Jiawei. Thank you. And related next step is deprecation of in-tree drivers that will not be migrated, remove plugins that were previously deprecated.
Yes, so I think, yeah, last status is this. I think this is still true. I had a PR out for the website update.
And that was removing Scale.io.
Yeah, Scale.io has already been removed. Yeah.
Marking the.
And I also actually find out that on 1.17, JCEPD and AWS has already been deprecated, which is kind of unexpected. I haven't updated that in this part on the website because I want to align with the other CSI migration supported drivers. Yeah, so maybe we should start thinking about deprecating this next release, deprecating all the CSI migration supported drivers. next
Got it.
release.
Okay. And so for the rest of these drivers, let's get an update for vSphere first.
I think Debian has a PR out for moving the topology label to GA. Other than that, everything else is the same. I don't know if Java, if you get any more update.
There is a Windows support. It's sorry, I forgot. I need to check the spreadsheet we have for CSI migration.
Okay, no worries. I'm going to mark Windows support as outstanding, and we can get an update next time on that. Next item is Azure Disk and then Azure File. Anybody have updates on that?
I think Azure Disk is all good.
Okay.
Azure File CSI migration, there is a blocking issue right now, which is the FS group feature that Hamon is working on.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for that. And then we have GCPD, Matt.
Yeah, we are still trying to figure out the sidecar performance problem that breaks the upstream serial GCEPD test. So no actual update there. Seems to be a hard thing to figure out.
Got it. Okay, cool. I'm glad we're doing the testing to find issues like this. So glad we found.
It's certainly better to find it now, I guess, than post launch.
Definitely. Okay. Next item is AWS. Anyone have updates on that?
I think Matt has been actively working on implementing Windows support into EBS driver. I think he's found a couple issues with the CSI Proxy and has been making a number of fixes there.
Yeah, that's accurate. There's a PR out in the EBS CSI driver repo for Windows support that's just pending some other stuff, like the CSI Proxy changes and stuff.
Awesome. Thank you for the update. And finally, we have CephFS and CephRBD. Last status here was still in discussion whether we're going to support it or not.
Right. Yeah, yes, sir, clear. So yeah, I had some discussions on this with the limited audience group and also internal teams at Red Hat. Carried out some more discussions on the PR, but it's not enough to take the final call because Michelle also saying you have to get the community interest on this. So I have an action item to send an email to the Kubernetes mailing list and see the community interest before we take the final call. So
Got it.
Depending on me.
Okay. All right, thank you, Humble, and good to see you back. Next item is updating topology labels from beta to GA for vSphere. And so it sounds like we got an update for that already. You want to add anything to that, Xing?
Yeah, that PR is being reviewed.
Yep. Okay. Next is always honor reclaim policy. Last status here was we're going to move this to 123. Is that still the case?
Yeah. So
okay.
Deepak will, yeah, he will get back to this. Right now, there's no update. I think he will get back and work on this.
Got it. Okay. Next item is control volume mode conversion between source and target PVC.
I have not got a chance to sync up with the Xiangqian yet, so we'll do that.
And this is a lower priority item. That makes sense. Next item is secret protection finalizers to prevent deletion.
I don't know if we have Masaka here. So Jordan has some concerns. I think those are still outstanding. Those are not resolved yet. So I think we probably missed the deadline for requesting an exception. It does not look like it can be resolved easily. And Jordan is also tied up with 1.22 committed items.
Got it. So maybe let's switch this to design. I guess it is designed for this quarter.
Design, yeah.
Okay, so we'll just keep an eye on it and see how far it makes. Okay, next item is co-owned with SIG auth. So first item is user ID ownership in config maps and secrets, preserve default file mode bit in atomic writer volumes. Anyone have an update on this?
I think we can cross this item from this.
Okay.
We are not. Yeah, wait. Is Abhishek responded to you on Slack? Like it's just a design item, and we haven't heard anything from him. From Abhishek.
Jawei, do you have any other input on this?
Not really. I think I'll ping him again and see if he gets times.
Okay. Do we want to go ahead and cross it out for this cycle, or wait until next time until we can get an update?
This is just the design, so there's no like target or alpha or target thing. So I think it's fine here. Yeah.
Okay. So let's leave it for now, and then if we decide that it's not being committed, then we can go ahead and remove it. All right, thank you, Hamath and Jawei, for the update. Next item is ungraceful node shutdown. Prototype for this quarter. Last status was updated cap. Try to get it merged as provisional. Check with SIG release if provisional is allowed.
So that is allowed. Actually, we could still do that. So I think we talked about having the cap at least reviewed, and because that has in the cap we talked about how to use this change that Ben has made in CSS Stack, the force detach, and then so it's you're planning to cut it in a Monday, right? Next Monday. So
yes,
we should let you know on Monday and see how that is, and see if we can get this PR merged. So I got some review comments from Sean Jin, so I'll be addressing them.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you, Xing. And next item is enable user namespace to kubelet so UIDs get shifted. We have Mauricio or Hamath. Any updates with this? Did we end up getting an exception?
That was different design. This is different. That was rootless kubelet.
So that status was, let me see if I can move it. Okay, well, do you have any updates on this one?
No, actually, I didn't. The cap didn't merge last I looked, so I haven't had a chance to.
Okay.
Aha, sorry. So they renamed this, and it is actually now rootless mode, and kubelet is the same. So Yeah, so they requested exception. The exception was granted and is being targeted for at least in limited as alpha in 120.
Awesome. Cool. Thank you for the update, Hamath.
And the owner is different person.
Okay.
Akihiro Suda. I don't know how to pronounce them, but yeah, I could add a comment later. Yeah.
Sounds good.
Thank you.
So do you want to change the status from design to alpha?
Yep. Okay, so next item is with SIG Apps, address, what is this? Address issues, PVC created by stateful set will not be auto-removed. KK or Matt, any updates on this?
I'm continuing to work on the implementation. The API change is basically approved.
Awesome. Sounds like good progress. And Matt, I'll go ahead and mark you as the primary here.
Yeah, that's fair. Thanks.
All right, thank you, Matt. Next item is volume expansion for stateful sets.
So Shalini is looking at this. I think last time I checked with her, she said she's still reviewing it, trying to update the cap. So I need to sync up with her again, see what's the status.
Okay, thank you for that update. Next item is co-owned with both SIG Apps and SIG Node, execution hook container notify for application snapshot.
Yeah, so we are trying to get SIG Node to review and approve it.
Okay, thank you. And are we still targeting, I guess it has to be designed this quarter.
Yeah, this is the 1.23. Yeah, this is
okay, sounds good. Next item is SIG Architecture, Kubernetes utils mount, split it into a new repo and add end-to-end testing, do the formal release for this. Serini was tracking this. Last status was that the PR was close to merge. Any updates since then?
I need to double check, but I think it has merged.
Got it.
Either that or like he needs to rebase or something like that. But it's been LGTM and approved at least.
Awesome, good news. Thank you, Michelle. Okay, so next item is prioritization on volume capacity with SIG scheduling. This will be staying in alpha in 122. Any new status updates here?
No, I need to sync up with Ye Chang to see if there's anything else that needs to be done. I know there was like one API change that potentially was deferred.
Okay, thanks, Michelle. And last item, SIGAuth, CSI Service Account Token. Target GA in 122, KEP was merged. Anything new here? This is CSI
Nope.
Service Account Token. Okay.
I think it's still on track. I'll sync up with Shihang.
Sounds good.
If there's PRs out yet.
Awesome. Thanks, Michelle. And with that, we have completed the planning spreadsheet update. Let's move on to the remaining items. So I don't see any PRs to discuss or designs to review. One item of miscellaneous discussion for Michelle is flex volume deprecation. Michelle, you want to talk about this?
Yes, so on our website, on our like docs website, and SIG pages, flex volume is marked as deprecated, but we actually have not sent out a official deprecation notice in like the release notes for it. So I think I just put this item here that, you know, we should probably target doing that this release. I think over the last couple of releases, various functionality of flex volumes has been being removed, I think, from like I think with the switch to distro lists in the kube controller manager has basically made flex volumes not workable by default. You'll have to like build your own custom image of kube controller manager in order to make that work. But yeah, so I think I'll send out a broader email to the Kubernetes dev and SIG mailing list to announce this, but I think we should target this for this release.
Sounds good to me. Are there folks on the call who are still using Flex Volume by any chance?
We have people who are using like CIFS or Samba Flex drivers. Not sure if they migrated, and they don't need the features that we deprecated is the control plane attached, detached, that sort of thing, and they don't need all of that.
Got it.
So they're
Yeah,
okay with.
but I guess, yeah, do we want to deprecate just the control plane part of it, or do we want to deprecate it all? Because right now on our docs websites, it's just deprecating for the whole thing.
Not sure. My personal feeling says that we should just deprecate the control plane thing, because we have very little, like nobody's using it and everything. But for other stuff, we have tests. We are running E2Es and we know it works, and there are people using it. I'm not sure if they will respond to the mailing list, but there are people using it.
And like with Samba, like we do have the CSI driver replacement for it, so it's possible they can switch over to use that CSI driver, but we will have to invest in getting the CSI driver up to date.
Yeah, of course. And it has to have similar features to this work. Yeah. But are we planning to? But we have no plans to support like any flex volume to CSI migration, right? So the people who are using those drivers, they will have to pretty much, I guess, delete their PVs and recreate them with CSI types.
Yeah, I don't think there's any plan for a migration tool. I think early on there was a flex volume to CSI driver adapter, but since that's fallen out of maintenance.
I think SIG Windows used to advertise a couple of flex volume based PowerShell scripts for SMB and iSCSI, and maybe we just need to change the look at the docs and
yeah. So I guess it sounds like maybe we do still have some active users. I think maybe a better step for 122 is we should start trying to advertise the CSI equivalents instead of the Flex equivalents. And also work on, over the next couple of releases, work on making the CSI replacements more stable and with feature parity.
I think that seems reasonable. Do we want to add an item for this release to make some progress here.
Yeah, so we can say, I don't know, we can have an item for releasing getting the Samba or the CIFS CSI driver to GA. That can be an item. I think Deep, you also mentioned people are using it for iSCSI for Windows.
Yeah. I mean, Microsoft used to publish those two parts.
I guess that's something we would need significant work on. I think right now we're just getting the iSCSI driver just working on Linux, and we haven't even looked at Windows at this point.
Right. I saw some contributions from Humble, I think, for
Yeah.
the CSI Proxy iSCSI. So seems like he may be working on something for iSCSI CSI on Windows. And he was pretty active in that area last couple of weeks.
Okay.
But yeah, definitely that API group is alpha for sure. Not nowhere close to GA. Yeah.
Anybody want to commit to helping with a Samba CIFS CSI driver, getting that into GA shape?
And so Andy's been doing a lot of work with this SMB driver.
Okay.
And also so has Julie. I can talk with her.
Yeah, sorry, was that Julie? Matt, you're breaking up a little bit?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay. Okay, so Andy and Julie have done some work here. Michelle and Matt will sync up with them to see if they can commit. Does that sound accurate?
There's one generic issue though. Like so this is the drive. These are the drivers that we know about. There could be other flex volume drivers that all are in the wild. Obviously, we can't fix all of them. We can't.
Right.
We can't write replacement for all of them. So should we like, what should be the signal that okay, this can be removed safely for like the flex volume?
I think flex volume is probably, we can't remove it. We just need to mark it as deprecated and kind of leave it as a stub that we continue to support to some extent, slowly deteriorating over time, but trying to maintain it as much as possible. I don't think we can outright just remove it. Michelle, what are your thoughts on that? Xing?
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
Yeah, I agree as well. But we should still send out the message early, right? So since we already have this in our documents everywhere saying it's deprecated.
Yeah. So I guess it sounds like this cycle we're going to work on some of the CSI drivers. Are we going to do any messaging updates this cycle?
What do you mean messaging updates?
Or do we want to send out any preemptive messages to SIG storage or to Kubernetes dev to say, hey, by the way, flex volume's been deprecated, you should start transitioning, or should we hold off on such messaging?
I think we should actually should send out that early. Does not mean we're going to stop supporting, right? We just say we're planning to deprecate because we already have that in our documentation anyway, because I actually thought it's already deprecated. Until Michelle mentioned it's actually, we have not really sent out a formal message. But if people will read our docs, right, they will see that it says it's deprecated. So we should get our message consistent.
I think that sounds okay to me. I'll go ahead and add an item here. Send out deprecation notices for flex volume. Okay. So per discussion on June 3 at SIG storage meeting, plan to send out deprecation notice to wider audience. Who wants to commit to doing that?
I can do that.
Okay. Thank you, Shane. And Michelle, I'll mark you down just to review that.
Sounds good.
Yeah, I'll sync up with Michelle on that message.
Sounds good. All right. Anything else on flex volume deprecation? Okay. Any other items to discuss today? Anything blocking? Anything concerning? Anything interesting to bring up? Okay. Then we can end a little bit early and give folks time back in their day. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks.
Thanks. Bye.
Thank you.